And we'll use the breath to feel through our physical body. Mental focus is on slowing and deepening your inhale. Staying with your exhale until you're empty. And feeling where the breath goes. Where does it go naturally? What moves? What opens? Use those places to let the breath get fuller, breath by breath. Your breath will grow in vitality, and you'll start to use your exhale to palpate the areas that may not be moving yet. That are shy or painful or even numb. Shifting your attention to those areas, allowing to be what they are. Hold them with your breath. Here in these first moments of stillness and quiet, is use the breath as the center of your action, the center of your focus. You're making space for these other areas that want your healing to come be part of the practice, to inform your practice. So rather than working from the outside in, trying to fix what we find, a deeper intuitive wisdom, intuitive healing guides us. And then our poses become vessels, containers. All right, if you're not in a sitting position, find your way to sitting. If knee piles an appropriate way for you to sit, cross your right knee over your left. Sitting up on blankets or block for your first knee pile might help the spine stay long. Active feet. Spread your toes. Gently press the pinky part of the foot down to help you lift up from your hips. And if you can't sit comfortably like this and as your first pose, take another seat for shoulder shrugs. Inhale. Hold this first breath in as you hike the shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze the tops of the shoulders back towards each other and exhale. Keep squeezing as you drag them down your neck into your upper back. Relax shoulders, relax arms. Inhale, fill the upper back with your breath. Exhale, squeeze the middles of the shoulder blades together and pull them down another inch. Inhale, fill your upper back, feel the shoulder blades spread apart. This time arms will help. Turn your palms forward with your elbows bent. Exhale, squeeze the bottom angles of the shoulder blades in towards each other. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. Move everything down towards your tail. Plug your tailbone down. Scoop your belly up. Lift your heart. Press your hands back and your elbows forward. And relax your arms. Bowing over your legs. Bowing may simply be releasing the neck. Or your heavy head may take you into a forward fold. In that case, root through your tailbone, pull navel to spine, activate your feet more. Send your breath into the back body. Feel it in the upper back between your shoulders, around your neck. And exhale, soften neck and jaw. Send your breath into your mid-back, expanding the ribs away from the spine and from each other. Exhale, feel for softness in the belly. Send your inhale breath down into low back, backs of hips. Exhale, soften around the hips and upper thighs. Those of you forward folded, reach back through your tail, draw navel to spine to pull your spine up, and change the cross of your legs. Another round of shoulder shrugs. Big breath into the upper back. Hold this first breath, bring the shoulders up as high as you can. Squeeze the tops of the shoulders back into each other and exhale, squeeze them down your neck, massage shoulder blades into upper back. Inhale, inflate your upper back. Exhale, draw the middle points of the shoulder blades in towards the spine and shift them down one more notch with relaxed arms and relaxed jaw. Once again, inhale, fill the upper back with your breath. Get it broad. Bend your elbows, palms forward. Exhale, squeeze bottom angles of shoulders in towards tail. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. As you squeeze everything down towards tail, lift your spine up off your tail. Exhale, relax your arms, relax your head forward, bowing forward. Right where you feel the stretch in the back body, start to breathe into the back of your body. Those areas that were tight in our first sitting and breathing exercise, or were numb, or are injured. Continue to check in with them during your yoga practice. Send your breath there. If the pose is hurting or impinging those areas, this is a pretty tough group. The tendency might be to just try to check out, ignore that, and do the pose anyway. I want you to start to reverse that kind of thinking, at least for today's class. We'll take that one pose at a time. Check in how you're doing your yoga today. Are you using it for healing? Or is there some more esoteric goal you have in mind? Maybe choose to work with what is actually here. What is real? Reach back through tail, pull belly to spine. And that'll pull the rest of your spine up. Maybe a hand helps your relaxed head and neck up. Spinal twist. Straighten your legs out. Right knee bent, foot on the floor, twisting to right. Let's do back traction. If this is okay for you, left hand to right knee, right thumb into your right hip crease. So you can take the fleshy part of your hip and draw it down as you hug the right knee in. So it would almost do this. Counter with your other hand. Take a breath to lift out of your seat and exhale to spiral into right thigh. Flex the left foot, reach out through the heel so the left leg's an anchor. All right, 3 more breaths if you want to release your hands into any other variation. Just continue to send your breath down into right hip, into the space you're creating there. And exhale to lengthen out of that, even if you're spiraling towards it. If this hurts your hip, especially when you did this, if you got burning, maybe today you twist with your knee open. See if that feels like it creates space for you. Inhale. Exhale, unwind. Straighten your right leg out. Draw left knee open out to the side, bowing over your extended right leg. Activate the right foot, press on the gas. And again, bowing might be releasing head, neck. As you explore what you feel in your hamstrings, not push into, not push through. Feel and breathe. Maybe it's hamstrings. For many of us, hamstrings will light up first. Some of us will feel it more in the low back, some down in the calf. So if you're feeling something other than what I cue, you're not doing it wrong. If you're feeling what is actually here, that is the goal today, the intention. And again, we'll come up with relaxed neck. As part of our intention, we'll practice letting the head follow the body. And pick your left knee up. Spinal twist with back traction. Left thumb hooks the left hip, right hand to left knee. Unless you found out that hurts, then don't do that. Press your left hip down as you hug left knee in. And with that hip anchored, continue to lengthen the spine from the pelvic base and rotate it. Close your eyes. Slow your breath down into your pelvis. Even though low belly is constricted, continue to breathe down into the structures. And if you want to move into a different hand position, go for it. Release the twist and come on back. Elbow to knee with thigh traction. Knees bent over your hips. Feet can drop down towards your seat, but activate your feet. Spread the toes. Pull the toes back and press the ball mound of the foot forward. Feel for the bones of the feet spreading wide. Hands interlaced behind your head and neck. Elbows pointing to the ceiling. Lift your head off the earth with a relaxed neck. Inhale, press the low back flat. Exhale, both elbows towards left thigh, right leg to sky. Right hand comes to the top of the right thigh. Take a breath into your right hip. And as you breathe out, draw your right thigh up. Pull your belly down, making space in the hip joint. Please, no thrashing, just a little traction and feel. Inhale back to center. Hold your head and neck. Exhale, twist to your right, left leg to the sky. Left hand comes to left thigh. Send your breath into left thigh, hip. Exhale, draw your thigh bone up. Pull your belly down. Again, inhale, bend your knees, support head and neck. Press low back flat. Exhale, twist left, right leg up. Right hand to thigh, send breath into right hip. Exhale, draw the right thigh up, pull your belly down. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to right, left leg straight. Left hand to thigh, take a breath. Exhale, make space at the hip joint, sending thigh bone up, maybe a little internal rotation, a spiraling action. Press left side waist down. Do 2 or 3 more like that on your own. Using this abdominal exercise as a way to make space for breath in your body. Consciousness in hips, low belly. Lots of potential for intuition and healing there. But also a good place to get stuck. We'll start to unstick. Wake it up. And when your rounds are complete, no hurry if you're going nice and slow with feeling. Stay with it. Those of you who are complete, feet down, feet wide, knees rest against each other, hands on your hips, directing your breath into your soft low belly and hip flexors. Bridge with a block or roll. I didn't cue you guys to have props at the beginning of class, so if you don't have a block or roll, that's fine. You'll set up for bridge and imagine you're holding something with your inner thighs the whole time. So holding your prop, whichever way maintains your legs hips distance, feet and knees exactly the same width apart. Let's start down with the palms turned open. So your shoulders are relaxed back, your collarbones are wide. Take a huge breath into your open upper chest. Exhale, press your feet down, tuck your tailbone up, and press down to press hips up. Lengthen your tail towards your knees, send your knees forward. Keep your belly in as you draw your breath into your upper ribs, up above your arms, and the uppermost parts of your chest and lungs. 5 breaths here. I want you to use this bridge more for back traction than back bending. Feel for creating space with the power of your strong legs, pressing into the earth, maybe pulling on the earth with your feet. And hold your real or imaginary prop between your thighs as you slowly roll the spine down top to bottom, tucking your tail up. Once you're down, you can open into a butterfly if that's an appropriate shape for your hips and low back, or return to your knees together, feet wide position, hands on hips, directing breath down to low belly, low back, and pelvis. For some of you, it'll feel right to interlace your hands and stretch them up overhead. Hug your knees up into your chest. Find your way to all fours. Cats and cows. Inhale your heart forward and let's tuck the toes. Exhale, round your spine, hang your head, untuck your toes. Inhale, heart forward, toes tuck. Exhale, untuck, round spine. Keep going like that. Adding on, if this feels right, to your wrists and knees, inhaling to rock forward a little, and exhale to sit back, maybe all the way to child's pose. Inhale forward, exhale, sink it back. Keep breathing, moving. So rest if needed, especially if you're feeling this on the wrists. You can work down on your elbows. Excuse me. Option to add on, inhaling and exhaling, down dog. Inhaling, knees down, heart forward. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cow tilt. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale. Exhale, child's. Continue like that. Or come up with the flow that supports your breath, growing and healing. We'll meet in down dog. Warrior 2, right foot forward. Bird's wing, relax your arms down. Bend your elbows, palms turn up, elbows squeeze into the fronts of your ribs. Bring the pinky fingers together to touch. Hands are down the same level as your elbows, like you're holding two hot cups of tea and don't want to spill them. They will stay level. Direct your breath into your upper back. Exhale, squeeze shoulders together as you rotate the hands away from each other. Keep squeezing the elbows into the ribs. Inhale, hands back in as your upper back spreads wide with breath. Exhale, rotate the arms out, hug the elbows in. 2 more breaths like that. Eagle arms, right crosses over left. If eagle's not appropriate for your shoulders, you can pretend to hold a block between your elbows. Send it forward and up. Everyone breathe into your upper back between shoulders. Exhale, send the elbows and hands forward. Archer prep. Left hand takes the right elbow and lifts it up. Right hand at base of neck. Right elbow pointing the sky, left hand holding right elbow. Inhale, send the right arm bone straight up to the ceiling. Exhale, drop your right sitting bone down toward your right heel. Again, inhale, lengthen right arm bone up. Exhale, turn your right triceps in toward your cheek as you soften right shoulder blade down. Feel for the space that's opening up around your relaxed right shoulder. Left hand's there for support, so right arm can relax. And if you can maintain that space and keep the right elbow up, you are welcome to move into your full bind. Reverse warrior. Everyone, left arm behind your back. Rest left forearm across your sacrum. Weight it down. Reach right arm past ear. Keep bending right knee deeply towards your pinky toe. Activate your foot. Spread the toes of the right foot. Press it down. Press the heel down. Lengthen tail down. Half bound triangle. Inhale, straighten right leg. And you might come up and over real smooth and fancy on the exhale, or you may come out of the pose. Adjust your footprint closer together. Find a block if you like to use block for triangle. Left shoulder rolling open, left hand guiding your sacrum, tailbone toward your left heel. Head is lined up over the right shoulder, but in this half bind, you might want to practice neck release, letting your head hang. Check in with your healing areas if you need to customize any of these poses in your own way to bring breath into those areas. Experiment, feel, breathe. Lizard lunge variation. Bend your right knee. Both hands come down to the inside of right foot, spin onto the back toes. Right foot might heel toe out to the right to widen your stance, but leave the toes pointing straight ahead, knee against shoulder. I'm offering the variation where your back leg is straight, pressing left heel back to stretch the front of left hip. For some of you, setting the knee down will be more appropriate. Some of you lowering left elbow or both elbows to ground or blocks or props will be right for you. You've got 3 more luscious breaths. Send them down into your pelvis. Half splits. Work your way back up to your hands if you lowered down. Set the back knee down. Move right foot back towards center between your hands and stretch into your hamstring stretch. I'll leave it up to you whether you do the variation where you press the ball of the foot down or flex the right foot back. Inhale, bend right knee. Exhale, step back into plank. Hold plank for 3 breaths. Of course, you can set your knees down or elbows down. Lower down onto your belly. Boat, arms down alongside your body. Squeeze a real or an imaginary block between your ankles. Reach it back, lengthen tailbone back. Inhale, lift your shoulders up. Let's leave hands and feet on the earth for this round. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades towards each other. Drag shoulders towards tail, reach tail away. Breathe your chest forward. I recommend keeping the chin tucked in, but maybe turning your eyes forward. Neck and extension of your spine. Hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, pull on your mat, make a little more space in low back. Exhale, downward dog. Or choose cat-cow or a different vinyasa. A different way to link these series with your breath. Use your breath to wipe the slate clean. Ideally, till you get to the point where you don't remember what's coming next. Then we start fresh. Warrior 2, left foot forward. Another round of bird's wing. Relax your arms down. Palms up, elbows against your ribs. Start with pinky fingers together. Send your breath into your upper back between your shoulders. Exhale, squeeze shoulders together. Open the hands. Hug elbows into ribs. Inhale, fill the upper back. Exhale, squeeze the upper back. Squeeze the upper arm bones towards your shoulder blades. See if you feel those muscles behind your armpits firing. Inhale. Exhale, you can pretend you're holding a stretchy band. Give yourself some resistance as you pull the hands apart. Inhale, one more time. Exhale. And this is a good exercise to do with stretchy bands, you guys who have those. Eagle arms, left on top of right. Any variation, including hug you or unlocking the shoulders. Any variation for your neck, including rest your head forward or opening your throat, or neutral. Archer prep. Right hand lifts your left elbow up. Left hand rests between your shoulder blades or at base of neck, not pushing on your neck, please. Creating space in left shoulder joint. Inhale, actively reach the left arm bone up. And then exhale, relax the left shoulder down. Send breath into left shoulder joint. Exhale, rotate your triceps in toward your cheek if that rotation feels safe for you. While you drop your left sitting bone straight down to the earth like a plumb line from elbow to sit bone. Reverse warrior, right arm across your sacrum. Left arm stretches over ear, side bending your spine over the right leg. Left foot presses firmly into the mat as you bend knee towards pinky toe. Half bound triangle. Inhale, straighten left leg, and exhale, find your way into your variation of triangle on this side. Half bound with neck release might be an appropriate option for you here. As you release your neck, and especially if you choose to close your eyes, you will feel how much our heads, necks, jaws create tension in the attempt to hold us up. And our feet, our strong legs should be doing that. Let them wobble and wake up. Lizard lunge, bend your left knee, bring both hands down to the inside of left foot. Rotate onto back toes, move your left foot aside to make more space. Possibly ending up in the same variation you chose on side one. But as you breathe and feel into left hip, this side might feel so different from the first side. that you might choose to do differently with your back knee or your elbows. If you're not sure how to modify a pose, breathe, close your eyes. Send your breath into your healing area, if it's still there, or into the pelvis itself. Half splits. Lower your back knee down, heel toe left foot back in between your hands, and stretch into your hamstrings stretch. Lengthen your heart towards your toes, even if you're keeping your knee bent. Inhale, bend left knee. Exhale, plank. Just one full breath here. Press the ground away. Absorb the steadiness, the strength of the earth beneath you, right into your core. And then exhale, lower down. Boat, option to interlace your hands. If you prefer to keep the hands alongside body, that's just fine. Bent out to the sides and the palms together. So bend your elbows as much as you need to get the palms to touch. That will ultimately protect your wrists as you reach your knuckles back, straightening your arms and lifting your heart. Legs can be up or down, but feel for reaching them back. One more huge breath here. Exhale, lower down. Take a moment to rest or complete your vinyasa, but breathe. Down dog hip opener or tabletop hip opener. You can start with your knees down in a tabletop, then raise your right leg back, bend your right knee, turning your hips open to the right. Find a tiny bit of turbo dog in your arms so your shoulders stay square, your chest doing a lot of the work. Then your hips can spiral open, your low spine. Lunge. Right foot steps forward, back knee down. Twisting lunge will once again take back traction if that felt safe to your low back and hip. Right thumb hooks the right hip crease to pull it down. Inhale, left arm forward or up. Exhale, left elbow, right thigh. Inhale, pull the right hip down and back and seesaw your heart forward and up. Exhale, soften right shoulder back. Any arm variation. Some of you will start to practice your bind, left hand to right hip, right hand behind your back. Holding your pelvis with your two hands, you can hold it square as you lengthen and spiral spine. Left hand to heart is also an option if hand to hip hurts shoulder. Also your prayer options, fist, or even hand on block. Anjaneyasana, lunge, hands down. Some of you will scoot your left knee way back into a much wider lunge. Breathe your chest forward, drop your tail down. Option to interlace hands behind your back. Again, bring the palms together. You might notice if I do this, what it's doing to my wrists, this action, which we tend to be in when we're on our computers and phones or, life using our hands. So let's try to undo that in the stretch. If that's not an option for you, any other hand variation works just fine. Activate your feet, spread all 10 toes. Lift the front 5 toes off the mat. Push down into the mat with your right ball of foot and heel, especially as your hips drop towards your heel. Ground into the heel. Standing splits. Hands down, tuck your back toes, and spring off the back leg, bowing over front leg. Many of you know I don't like the name standing splits for this because I don't really care about the splits part of this. You're upside down, balancing on your right leg with your left leg up, with a relaxed neck, grounding into your standing leg, maybe even grounding into your hands. Left leg reaching to open your hips. I don't care about either leg being straight or left leg being high. You tap into the strength of your standing leg. Let your skull, your neck drain. They don't have to hold you up here. Pigeon variations. Lower your left foot down carefully, left knee down, and right shin down. If you know no belly down pigeon variation is going to work for you today, then you come onto your back for figure 4 stretch. First couple breaths, any variation of this pose that allows you to send breath into what you're feeling in right hip without bypassing it. Sometimes I'm tempted to flop right down because my body can do that, but then I miss out on all these other rotators in my hip in between. So explore. If you are in belly down variation, option to twist. Walk your hands towards right knee or thigh, and then pull on the ground like you're doing a low cobra. Lengthen your spine out over your right knee or thigh. Exhale, drop your left hip down. Take at least 3 breaths like that. Those of you doing pigeon on the back, if you want to twist your pigeon on the back, drop your feet over to the left side so your right knee is up. Okay. Those of you belly down twisting pigeon may settle into that twisted shape, lowering down onto your head or arms. Or you can walk yourself back out to neutral and see if there's more space to lengthen out of your hips. Spine forward, left foot scooches back. Whatever variation you're in, take 3 more slow, full breaths down into your pelvis. If you're trying to ignore another area that is hurting you, send your breath to that area. Sometimes our attention is enough to get that sensation to shift. Or listen to the sensation if it's telling you to change your shape so it's healing. All right, find your way to neutral. We'll eventually meet in down dog or tabletop, but take a few moments to feel, whether you're vinyasing or resting in a belly down shavasana. Down dog hip opener or tabletop hip opener. Raise the left leg, open your hips to the left. Twisting lunge, step your left foot between your hands, lower back knee down. And those of you who practice with me know that when I set up twists, I don't come into my deepest lunge, which I don't know if you can see what it does to my back. Bringing the back knee forward so I can start with an elongated spine, especially since we're drawing left hip down in traction. And then keeping that length as you hook right arm over. So twists eventually create length for the spine, ultimately give the spine space. But at first, the wringing out, if you can imagine like twisting a rope, compresses into the spaces we're creating. I want you to find space anyway with your breath. Any other arm variation is welcome. So it's not just like a wringing out. Send fluid breath to the spaces to be wrung out. You can't wring out an empty sponge, not without hurting the sponge. Lunge, hands down. Now you might move into your deeper lunge. You might, you don't have to. Drop your tail straight down, breathe your heart forward. If interlace is an option, do their opposite finger interlace, if you can figure out which one that is. Or whatever appropriate arm variation works for you as you breathe and feel. Standing splits. The Sanskrit is actually something like upside down one-legged tree. So upside down one-legged tree, standing on your left leg, relaxing your neck. Right leg helping by extending. Adho Mukha Ekapada Vrikshasana. Another translation might be a one-legged handstand. So those of you using your hands, find a little turbo dog, squeezing the elbows in. They can also help you ground with a relaxed neck. Pigeons. Lower your back knee down. Breathe while you transition. A lot of the yoga happens in the transition, so go slow enough that you don't miss out, including the information that tells you where you should be heading as you continue to send your breath into left hip. Don't ignore the rest of the signposts on the way. Belly down, so you want to add the twist on this side. Walk your hands over to left knee and then pull on the mat like you're doing cobra, drawing your heart out toward your fingers. Drop your right hip down, tuck your tail. Take at least 3 breaths in the active variation, creating length and low back. Pigeons on your back. If you'd like to twist, drop your feet over to the right. So left foot is on the floor, left knee to the sky, if that's right for you. Twisted pigeons. Maybe you settle down onto your arms and head, or maybe you walk back to neutral with a longer spine. More space in your hips, even the right leg might move back with breath. Next place we'll meet is in a standing forward fold. So take a few breaths to transition. Either rest in a neutral shape or vinyasa, cat-cow. Turn up the breath. Standing forward folds. Inhale to a flat back. Press your hands against your shins or your thighs. Exhale, soften in. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, soften. Find your way up to standing. Standing pigeon. Starting in Apanasana, right knee to chest. Some of you will keep right knee to chest. And by the way, this is knee to chest. Some of you will flex your right ankle, feel down for your right ankle, and let your right knee drop open as you draw a foot towards face. If you have the room to lift the foot up, first bring it forward. Open up the knee to 90 degrees. Then bring your foot in. Back to knee to chest. Take a breath in, and with a swish sound, squeeze your knee up. Standing balancing twist, left hand to right knee, right thumb into your hip flexor. Take that back traction, draw hip down, and start to spin to your right. If you're moving into your extension or any other arm variations, take one more breath here. And then exhale to start to extend foot or arms. As your right knee draws in, your right hip draws down. Back to knee to chest. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze it in. One more piece. Reach down for your right ankle, bringing your foot in as close to your hip as you can. And then maybe lotus, right heel to hip. Some of you, any other variation of tree. Any arm variation. At heart, arms up, interlace behind back, lots of options. Tailbone moving into the body. Scoop your low belly off pelvis. Inhale, lift your heart more. Exhale, Samastitihi. Second side, left knee to chest. And just like our upside down tree, this is mostly about standing on that right leg, cultivating that fire, welcoming the fire. Standing pigeon variations, or stay in Apanasana, knee to chest, and keep breathing. Knee to chest. Inhale and swish it up. Standing balancing twist, right hand, left knee, left thumb to left hip crease, draw it down. Seesaw, telescope your spine, rib cage up as you spiral. Set your eyes something right away that's not moving, especially if you turned your head. If you are feeling very steady, reach your left arm back, look at left thumbnail. Knee to chest. Drawing your left knee in. And then bringing left heel close to buttocks. If this compression, this is intentionally really bending left knee, not great for everyone's knee, so don't do that if it hurts. But that is a nice way to move into lotus without hurting knee. If you're not moving into lotus, ignore me. Move into your tree. Big breath in. Exhale, samastiti. Half sun. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Cross your right foot over your left foot. So the sides of the feet end up possibly side by side, toes in line. Just like you're standing in Tadasana, but you put your shoes on wrong. Hands on your hips. Inhale, lengthen your spine, squeeze the tops of your inner thighs, squeeze your butt. For some of you, this is your pose right here. Some of you, shoulders back, elbows back, will lean forward to straight spine. Pull your belly in, reach your tail straight back. If you need to tuck the tail, please do, especially because your knees probably can't bend in this shape. Option, if you feel safe, those of you parallel to the earth, open your wings. Directly in line with your shoulders. So if you were to wiggle the feathers at the ends of your wings, you would see them without moving your eyes. And finally, option forward fold. Again, go in slow because your knees won't bend. Make sure hamstrings are okay with the squeeze at the top of your thighs. Inhale to flat back, hands to hips, elbows to sky. Pull your belly in, maybe tuck tail to bring you up. Bend your left knee so you come onto the right toes. For some of you, this is your eagle. Some of you will keep sitting back and crossing the right thigh over left, or right foot behind left calf. Option to add the arms, left on top of right. Optional, hold your invisible block or bring forearms together, cross your wrists if you're not doing full Garandasana arms. Good. Scoop your belly in and off your pelvis to lift your heart up. Exhale, unwind your arms, unwind your legs. Do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. And when you're ready, left foot crosses over right. Squeezing thighs, squeezing butt. And again, you can stay here for the whole series, connecting to your strong, connected root. Or start to lead with your heart to come to parallel. Hands can stay on hips for extra support, or open your wings. Hands still in your peripheral vision. Optional, forward fold. Come back to flat back, hands to waist, elbows to sky. Pull your belly in. Let your tailbone pull the rest of your spine up. Then bend your right knee, coming onto left toes. And you might stay with two toes on the earth. It's a little bit of pee-pee dance, but yes, that's your contraction right there. That'll keep you grounded. Some of you will keep moving up into your other eagle variations. Right elbow on top if you're doing the full Garandasana arms. Exhale, unwind your arms, unwind your legs. And you can be very still and feel. Or shake it off, dance it out, scream it out, do what you gotta do. Half sun. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Sun breaths if you're not forward folding. Just move your arms and breathe. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Samastiti. Hands stay in prayer. Turn your toes out, bring your heels into touch. We'll have to modify. Come onto your tippy toes, squeeze your inner thighs together. Might have been in ballet class where we'd say pretend you're holding a piece of paper with your thighs. And then see if you can bring your heels to touch again. And see if you can stay on tippy toes as you bend your knees and maybe sit all the way down to your heels. Knee issues, your knees have been through enough. You pause when you need to, maybe open into a horse stance instead. Good. Once you're as low as you want to go, open your arms. Huge breaths into heart, root down through tail. Horse stance is goddess pose if I confused you. So if you're not squatting, being goddess. 5-pointed star, push down with your feet to rise. Straighten arms, straighten legs, lift your heart, maybe look up or close your eyes and feel. Receive. Connect. Hands come back to heart center, Tadasana. Sit back into your chair. If possible, knees together, feet together. And maybe again, you come down into your squat and all the way down to sitting from here. Some of you will come here and instead put your hands down, lower your knees down to roll onto your seat. That works too. Janu Shirsasana A. Oh no, did I freeze? Oh, okay. I thought I froze. Thank you. Left leg straight, right knee open. Turn your belly towards your left thigh. Forward fold. And remember, we did a shape kind of like this in the beginning of class. But we notice now that you have actually never been here before. Use your breath to explore what is here for you. Inhale, glance towards toes. Exhale, come up to sitting. Pick your right knee up. Spinal twist to your right. Any arm variation. Any leg variation. If you prefer to cross right foot over left thigh for this twist, please feel free to do that. Straighten your right leg out. Janu Shirsasana. Left knee open. Turn belly towards right thigh to forward fold. Inhale, glance forward. Exhale, come up. Pick your left knee up for spinal twist. If you crossed over on side one, do that again. Exhale, unwind. Straighten your legs, shake them out. And bend both knees, feet on the mat. Pick your flexed right foot up for seated figure 4, right ankle, left thigh. Some of you, this is the pose here, lifting out of your low back. Or if you want to lie down and do figure 4, that's fine. Or scoot your hips up towards your left heel, getting your face closer to your flexed right foot. Inhale. Exhale, come out the way you came in. Though if you're on your back, stay on your back. And change sides. Inhale. Exhale, come out how you came in. Crossbow variations. Bend your right knee. We'll start, well, actually, same thing. If you can cross. If not, you don't need to. Left leg can stay extended, or some of you will tuck it in. Left heel to right hip, left knee down. Starting in spinal twist, Ardha Matsyendrasana to your right. And take a couple breaths there. Optional. Right hand comes down to the outside of right foot. Flex it and pick it up. Option to start to extend your right foot. Hook your right thumb into your right hip. Once again, get that, pin the hip down, hug the right knee in, especially if you're extending and spiraling. Twist the other way, Cynthia. Left hand to the outside of right foot. Pin your right sitting bone down and scoop your low belly out of your right hip. Yep. Just where your cat touched you, exactly. Send your breath there. All right, come out the way you came in. Changing sides. Ardha Matsyendrasana, left ankle, possibly crossing over right knee, or any of the twist variations we started in. And you might stay in your twist. Or you might reach down for the outside of your left foot, pick it up. Then use the resistance of this leg, especially if it's not straightening, pull on it to lift out of your back and get taller. Anything else you add creates the openness in your left hip to send your breath into. All right, unwind. And come on down to your back. If there's any last stretches, supine twists, or inversions your body needs to be complete enough to let go, If you settle on your back and you're not feeling the urge to move, well, you might feel the urge to move. And then maybe you let that urge become internal as you settle into stillness. If it's telling you to adjust, to make space, then you listen to it. And I can't tell you which is the right way to respond. Even the same impulse might ask for a different response on a different day. And that's why we practice. We feel, we listen, we learn. Maybe you continue to receive, to stay. If you're ready to come back to the outside world, start by receiving a deep breath in. Release it with a sigh or a sound. And send your breath into your healing areas. And they will tell you if it's time, how to come up. May we benefit from our yoga practice. May our yoga practice benefit all those who we meet, whose lives we touch, those we don't even know we're touching. Namaste.